Hello all. Well, this is kind of interesting because it means I'm putting myself in a spot because people don't like hearing about what you eat and what it does to the environment. But it's been out there now for a while that the lobster industry is killing the right whales with their nets. Now I know that some lobsters use traps, but some use nets, and that they're killing the right whale completely into extinction. In fact, the right whale is one of the most extinct or getting extinct animals there are on the planet. So my question to you is, will you still eat lobster even though you know that it's helping to kill the right whale? My thought is that most people, of course, they would eat lobster over saving some animal from extinction. They think that their food priorities are more important than the priorities of saving animals. What's your thoughts on that? I'm going to go up here and do a video. Okay, there's some good news in the EU. A new law in the EU bans goods linked to deforestation. This would ban goods such as coffee, chocolate, and furniture that are linked to the destruction of trees. The rule covers palm oil, cattle, soy, coffee, timber, and rubber that are all harvested without sustainability involved. Companies selling these products into the EU will have to prove their goods are not linked to deforestation. So that's some good news. Now for some bad news. Unfortunately, I like to tell you guys about good news, but now some bad news. The Keystone pipeline in the U.S. is shut down after an oil spill into the Kansas Creek. This is the 22nd spill from this pipeline. The pipeline carries 622,000 barrels of oil per day. This pipeline carries tar sands oil from Canada to Illinois and the Gulf Coast, where then it's processed and sold overseas to somebody else. It doesn't even have anything to do with the U.S. Previous spills have sent more than 383,000 gallons of crude oil into rural wetlands in the North Dakota area and more than 200,000 gallons into the pastures in South Dakota. Now, if you remember, the environmentalists fought the Keystone pipeline, and unfortunately in the long run, because of Donald Trump, lost the fight and ended up having even more oil pipelines built. Let's look at this map, and it shows how many oil pipelines there are spread throughout the U.S. and why it's so dangerous to have all these oil pipelines, because oil pipelines always leak. They will always leak. The oil mixed with the pieces of sand will wear out every bend and corner until they leak, until they wear right through the pipe. And there's nothing the oil companies can do about it. Now, unfortunately, the best thing to do is just not use oil and gas as much as possible so that we don't need all this oil coming down from Canada through the Keystone pipeline. What's your thoughts on the situation at hand that I've talked about today? Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad news, a little bit of good news. So, with that, on this cold, blustery morning, we had lots of rain here in California over the last 3 days, and no more on the horizon. There's no more in the forecast. So that might be the end of our rain for quite a while here in California. But there's been enough to where we could get through another summer without it. So with that, I appreciate your guys' comments, the ups, and the new subscribers. And until next time.